Hey guys, it's the Carmichael Show, Season 3. We're doing 3 episodes. Stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Because you know I'm all about that bass, no trouble. I'm all about that bass.
We're all about that bass, guys. Welcome to the Carmichael Show After Show Season 3. I am so happy to be here with these lovely ladies. You guys want to introduce yourselves to our lovely people who are watching?
Hey guys, what's up? This is Mariel Turner. You can find me on all social media at Mariel_Turner.
All right. What's up, everybody? My name is Shannon Clark. You can find me on all things social media at I am Shannon Clark.
Hey guys, I'm Chae Jones. You can find me at Real Chae Jones on Twitter and Instagram, and Love Shea Butter on Snapchat, because I have to. New show, gotta keep the vibe going.
That's right.
So we have 3 episodes to talk about this hour.
A lot.
Not one.
Not
one, guys. We're doing 3.
3.
Because we missed last week, and now it's a 2-parter, so we're gonna do it now.
Yeah,
Let's get into
I'm ready.
And we're gonna talk about tonight's episode first because it is the most recent, and it was titled Grandma Frances.
Let's do it.
So I'm gonna start off with light skin privilege.
Oh,
Because
man.
we just gonna dig right into
I'm
it.
going straight because I just thought that it was the funniest thing hearing the tension between Grandma Frances and Cynthia's because she wasn't light skinned.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean, I did not see that coming, really. I know they kind of go there with the show, but I didn't really see it coming, and that was the thing that caused her to be like a monster-in-law.
Right. It's interesting to see the dynamic on like why they haven't gotten along this whole time. Because I never knew. I mean, however, this raised a lot of tension amongst us brown and light-skinned girls, and it's amazing that our panel is like, you know, brown and light, you know.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, how do you guys feel about that? I mean, does light skin mean pretty? Does that automatically equal pretty?
I think-
because people have that misconception now.
I think growing up, especially growing up in the 90s, black neighborhoods, black communities, growing up,
Right.
being lighter meant you were prettier. It was almost the same thing as if you were white. That meant you were prettier.
Absolutely.
It was like buying the Barbie doll. I
Right.
mean, you wanted the Barbie doll because she was pretty, and that you had to be that kind of pretty until they came out with, obviously, the black Barbie Christmas doll, which I still have in its original packaging.
Right.
Not gonna ship, I still have it. It's in its original packaging.
Right.
It's almost the same thing. Like it's good hair, like black hair
Good hair.
versus good hair,
Right.
and what is good hair?
What is it?
I think it's definitely something that is pushed in the black community, you know, that stems, of course, from white supremacy and slavery and all of these, like, heavy topics that kind of, and I think it was important to kind of show her character and to show the grandmother
Right.
really having those ideals, because it is very realistic, you know, in our community.
It's a very valid conversation. I mean, because we have that, you know, against ourselves, you know, it's almost that self-hate, you know, but I'm better than you, you know, and what dark-skinned girl has not heard, you pretty for a black girl? I mean,
I think we could say at least that's happened at least once. We've heard it once at least.
once is too many.
But that is too many times. That is true.
Right.
Because, like, especially you see Cynthia
Right.
and Maxine's relationship, but you don't really understand why she doesn't like Maxine, because she kind of, like, she comes from a rich family. She got money.
She's smart.
She's smart.
Pretty.
She got her degree.
driven, all that.
And you're like, just like, why wouldn't? But it also could stem from the fact that my husband's mother didn't like me because I wasn't light skinned, and now you're light skinned dating my son. So that self hatred is like, it's like a circle. It's like the circle of angry.
Yeah, like
Right.
a cycle.
The cycle of angry.
Right. Did anybody catch at the end how she said, you know, when he brought up the topic, you know, Bobby brought up the whole topic of, you know, do you really not like my mother because she's dark skinned? And don't quote me on this, but I think she says, I was just trying to look out for you. You remember when Grandma said that, and that resonated within me, because I feel like it's not that she didn't like Cynthia because she's dark skinned. It's just she understands how difficult it is to be a brown person in America. You know, it's been, and also take into consideration the setting. You know, they're in the deep South.
Right.
Where are they?
South Carolina, North Carolina.
We're in South Carolina, so you know, Jim Crows and all that was deep. You know, and you know, during her time, she grew up when that was all prevalent. You know, brown paper bag.
Right.
You know? Mm-hmm. Are you darker than this or lighter than this? Mm-hmm. And so I think it's important to know that it's not that she didn't like, not that she doesn't like Cynthia, but she figures the lighter my son's children, my grandchildren are, maybe the easier
time they will have. Especially that's a very generational in opinion.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Like especially when we talk about episode 2, I definitely want to bring that up. There's a very generational period in mindset.
Yes.
And that mindset is like you get to see how the parents see it, a situation, but in your mind it's like kind of we're in 2017.
Right.
We're in 2017. So and then it's a very generation. Like we have to remind this is not the 40s anymore.
And they're gonna forever be stuck in that in their ways. Period. Mm-hmm. It's impossible. But I really enjoyed it. This episode to me was lighter.
It was very, which is odd because with a death you would think it's gonna be some heavy stuff, right? But this was actually the lightest episode we've had.
The lightest because they came out.
Well, leave it to Bobby. Leave it to Bobby to bring the humor
in that little pink, light pink, just all light pink. I think maybe it's supposed to be for levity too. At the same time, like his outfit choice is for the levity of the show,
right?
Mm-hmm. But dude, come on.
Nah, let's talk about losing grandma versus losing mama.
Okay. Okay.
Let me know your thoughts, and then I'm going to drive something home on this.
I'm not going to say grandma as much. It's like I was very close growing up to my grandfather, and I had a very close relationship to him than I did my mom. So it was harder for me losing him than now that I'm older a little bit if I lost my mom, if that makes any sense.
Right.
I mean,
how do you feel about that?
At least in my experience, for me, it kind of was similar to the show, where it's like the relationship with me and my mom or me and my dad is like, we're super duper close, and the grandparents are a little bit more removed, so I kind of related to that a little bit, and just the heaviness of maybe losing a mother versus losing a grandmother when you are like Bobby, and you may not have that same kind of relationship. So
right, I get that.
See it.
I get that. For me, that was the only thing in this entire episode that I disagree with.
Really?
Yes.
Seriously? Why?
Here's the thing, my opinion, and obviously I'm speaking from my personal experience and my family dynamic, right? But Big Mama, Grandma, and the Black family,
that's what we call my grandmother.
So instrumental. You know what I mean? Most of the time, Big Mama is doing the raising, while Mom is out, supporting the family, working because she's a single, parent perhaps, or she just got to pay the bills. You know what I mean? In my house, Grandma was everything, and I recently just lost my grandmother last year. So
me too.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
And so you don't want to lose anybody, but when he said it was easier losing Grandma than it was Mom, it crushed me on the inside. I just couldn't disagree more. But Mama is Mama now. Now Mama versus Daddy.
They did bring that up.
They did bring that up because Bobby's like, Daddy, if you want to kill yourself, I ain't told you.
I'm gonna support you with that, Pops.
But I was like, but if it was Mom's, I can't do it. I can't do it.
I can't pull that plug. I can't.
And I was like, well, damn.
Nope, not my
personally, mama. It's just I wouldn't want to lose anybody. If that was a choice and I didn't have to lose anybody, I'm choosing that one. However,
I hope you.
Don't put him in seriously. I don't want the choices in front of me.
No, absolutely. Yeah. No, but that was funny. It's like, Dad, now if you want to kill yourself, I'm here for you.
But it also depends if you're a daddy's girl or not too.
Right.
Because there's a difference between if you're the son to your dad versus if you're the daughter to your dad. Because certain relationships with dads and daughters, they're a lot closer. Sometimes even the moms are with their daughters.
Yeah, I've definitely seen in her relationships between daughters and mamas where they're constantly beefing. But especially when they become adults or they're like she's a teenager and she's a mom, that tension can definitely be there. So I think I don't know. It's definitely a toss-up. Depends on the family.
It is. In my house. But in my house, you know what I mean? In my house, Mama is supreme.
The thing about this episode that was actually shocking for me is that they really did let her kill herself at the end. I thought for sure somebody's going to step in and something was going to happen.
I
wasn't in denial. I just figured you can't just keep bringing this up, hitting it over the head with a nail. Hammer with the nail and just not gonna do it. Because it's also, I think it's the fact that somebody actually might be going through that type of situation now where that parent is going through Alzheimer's, Parkinson's disease, like anything very that heavy.
Right.
Not to say assisted suicide is all good and everything. Everybody's situation is very different and everybody has to do what's best for them.
Right.
If, let's say, okay, so just from you, if your grandparent or someone you know is going through that, how would you be feeling? Would you want to help them?
I don't want to see anybody suffer. I've done it before. I never want to do it again. So I get that part of it. You know what I mean? Like, but also, you know, they also brought up the religious aspect of it. Are we in control, or should we be in control on when and how we go? You know what I mean? So I'm torn, but I don't want anybody suffering. I really don't. I promise.
I mean, in a way I could relate because I actually had a grandfather that had Alzheimer's, so I've seen that progression of, you know, being able to remember everything to remember nothing. Right. But at least for me personally, I just feel like I couldn't be in a place to kind of be there and be like, all right, you know, granddaddy, if you're ready, I'm ready. Like, I don't know. I don't think I could see myself doing that.
But so you wouldn't want to be there?
I think I would probably be like, okay, what can we do? Where can we take you
just
to like work
to
ease this, to
right?
like talk it through? Do we need some therapy? Do we need like some kind of specialist? Just something to kind of like intervene so it doesn't have to get to that point. But I do understand where if somebody has an illness like that, why they would want to make that decision.
Right. I get that.
Yeah.
I totally get it too. I feel like, not to say if I end up with Alzheimer's, I'm going to do it, but I personally would rather go out on my own terms than completely forget myself and my family.
Right. Yeah.
Can I just go peaceful in my sleep?
That's right. What I'm saying, man.
No, seriously, I think that's like,
like 99.9% of the time we're not going to go out like that.
I'm looking for like,
it sounds good.
It sounds amazing just to like go in your sleep and like you go to sleep, you don't wake up and you're good.
Oh,
God, how you feeling today? I came to see you.
I'm here.
You called me home.
Right.
Like,
it's hilarious.
Yeah, that would be my preference.
Yeah. All day. Great episode though. I laughed.
It was an amazing episode.
I laughed a lot as compared to 1 and 2.
And it was interesting because we saw all the guys, but we didn't see any of the ladies. We didn't see Nikisha. We didn't see Cynthia or Maxine.
And it was interesting because I thought maybe the episode might be lacking a little without them there, or you know, just not kind of the same. And it wasn't the same, but it wasn't any less. You know, it was still just as funny as it always is. It was still just as engaging. So it was an interesting take, not having the ladies on the show. Definitely interesting.
When are we gonna see it flipped?
That's what I was gonna say. I want to see a flip. I want to see it when it's just. I want to see Nikisha. I want to see them get locked up.
No, I don't.
Locked up. Maxine could not survive.
Wait, no. Wait. Like, no. Hear me out. Hear me out. I want to see them like get arrested. So they're in a jail cell, like Nikisha, like together. Nikisha, Cynthia, and Maxine. I want to see how that dynamic.
Oh Lord.
Would just
I'm riding with Keisha all day.
Yeah. Nikisha would probably be good.
Yes, they need her in that dynamic.
I think even Cynthia would be good. But actually, maybe. But I have a feeling. I don't know why. I think Maxine might surprise some people though.
Maybe.
She would surprise me.
Yeah. She has her showing moments though, you know.
No, she got her moments where she comes through.
She's a little fearless. She can be sometimes. Yeah. She may not realize. I feel like she wouldn't realize.
Like she's a.
Yeah. I feel like she would be like, I can handle this, and then she'd get thrown in there and be like, whoa.
But that would be interesting though, to see them like in a space that they can't get out of, so it forces them
to like. I want to see like Cynthia and Maxine just connect. Like I feel like first of all, I also realized because ending of season 2, they got engaged. No, maybe no ring yet, but we're engaged and we haven't talked about it yet. So I wanna hear what's happening. Wedding bells. We got a date set.
Where are we with that?
Where are we?
Yeah, it's true. Very valid.
It might be one of those things where it's like we're engaged, but the actual marriage part is gonna be further down the road.
How often does that happen? People have been engaged for years in real life, and they haven't set a date yet. So
yeah, it's common. So I mean, it'll be interesting to see over the course of the season. Yeah, if it comes up, if
it's even on.
Yeah,
right. Because at this point, we don't know.
That is true. And now we're gonna get into episode 2. Support the troops.
You got it.
So we're gonna talk about Kevin Wilson real quick. Oh wait, I take it back. I want to talk about Joe's belief, because that opening of his belief that being a soldier,
right,
being in the Army, Marines, Navy, what have you,
right,
you are better than the average civilian. Like, no matter how bad you truly are.
You know what's scary? It's a lot of Americans that think like Joe.
That's the scariest too.
Yeah.
Yes,
it's just that
true.
scary. That's real life for a lot of people.
And I mean, and this, I have to really disagree with him in that just because you serve, that doesn't really, if you're bringing all of this like negativity, not taking care of your kids, not taking care of your dog, baby mama, all this stuff, I don't think joining the Army can really, you know, make that disappear. It's still gonna affect you.
Well, you take all of those insecurities with you. You take that broken childhood. You take your anger problem. You take your you know what I mean? Like, you take all of these short-tempered issues, and then you just give yourself a gun now and some military training, and I think, does that make you a better person?
Yeah.
It might make you more.
No,
it might make you more. It might,
oh, go ahead. Sorry, I'll let you continue.
It might make you a better person. It can. Absolutely. You know, my dad was a soldier, so it could make you a better person. Those experiences, life-changing. First and foremost, utmost respect to, you know, the armed forces, everyone who serves. You know, but there are times when it makes you, you know, not the greatest person.
Yeah, because we have to admit there are not some great people in the Army that who serve.
Absolutely.
And that was Gerard's big deal when meeting Kevin Wilson, who was a character that beat up his brother, who also got his friend pregnant and doesn't take care of his kids.
Still,
and still like refusing to acknowledge that as well. So in that sense, I'm kind of with Gerard, where I'm just like, I'm not thanking you for your service. One, because you just got a boot camp. What you serve?
What have you done?
Yeah.
Secondly,
you ain't even been deployed yet.
But you gotta be. He did it right. He was like, you better say thank you for your service. Okay, thank you for your service. You arrogant deadbeat. I was
died.
Yes.
So
like,
funny.
Tell him how you really feel.
Because I mean, I want to be like, I said it. I also added some stuff. I added things, okay? Things are added.
My question on this was, you know, I agree with Gerard on a lot of things. Almost everything this episode. Almost everything. You know, my question is that, you know, to you guys, does that make him less American, less patriotic, that he wasn't waltzing around with the flag or, you know, first in line to, you know, enlist himself in the Army? Like, because some people may feel that makes him less American, that he's not, you know, he doesn't have Joe's opinion on, you know, soldiers.
But the great thing about having parents is that we are also not our parents.
Right, exactly.
Absolutely.
And I think when you have kids, you have to realize that they're going to have their own opinions. They're going to have their own decisions that they want to make. And, like, I mean, we see at the end of the episode, he doesn't want his son to go to the Army. Like, So which is like, it's like 360 real quick, Joe. Just yeah.
If it's other people's kids,
when it's other people's kids,
but if it's your kid,
every day,
he has an issue. Okay. And me personally, I have friends and people that I care about who are serving this country right now, and I so appreciate everything they're doing. However, I have issues with authority half the time. You can't just yell at me, because I'm gonna yell back.
So you just wouldn't do well in the whole boot camp thing?
I would do well, because like you would yell at me, and I would just go above and beyond just so I can prove you wrong. Like, I'm the type of person, like, I have to go above and beyond you real quick just to prove to you that I can do it. But that's also makes me also bad for it, because I'm just like, I don't feel like I should do it just to prove a point. I'm good in myself and how I am on American soil, okay?
You would do fine, but it ain't for everybody.
It is not.
It is not for me.
It is not something that is for everybody, and we also as Americans should realize that this is not the 60s and 50s where we have to get drafted. And it is mandatory.
Yeah.
And I don't think it makes you any less patriotic, you know, to have the stance that he had, where, you know, not everything isn't for everybody, like we're saying. So if you support the troops, but you don't support a particular troop because he has deadbeat daddy tendencies, that's okay. I think you are well within your rights to not do that, you know, and still be considered an American and still be considered patriotic, for sure.
I think the take home for me in this episode, and I agree with you 100%. I think the take home for me in this episode was that I think Gerard was trying to make the point that, yes, we are a very powerful nation. That's not doubted at all, right? However, amongst us, there's so many injustices that exist and that need to be addressed. Like, they're urgent matters amongst us, you know? And I just think it's important that we don't turn a blind eye to that. You know what I mean? Like, because slow down for a minute. Yeah, we want to, you know, help the world, save the world, you know, and we're American, we're great, we're a great nation, we can do it, but we've got a lot of stuff amongst us
that we need to work on.
That needs correcting.
And especially when Cynthia was saying how he got suspended or timed out because he didn't want to say a Pledge of Allegiance. I'm like, first of all, you're 6 and you have a very adult mentality for 6 to not want to be saying the Pledge of Allegiance.
Right.
I don't think, like, when I was that age, I even thought that I didn't have. There was no need for me to say it.
I didn't. I just was like,
it was just like something you were like, it was like mandatory you had to do.
Yeah, it's like you did it. Yeah.
Like I didn't give it any thought until I got older. Honestly, I definitely wasn't thinking about that at 6.
Cause you're just like, why am I pledging myself to America? In a child's, like, you're 6 and you're just like, why should I pledge my allegiance?
Right.
You know, one thing that I did find interesting about this episode was that Joe's support was so much based on not really knowing the facts of the situation in the Middle East, and I think that is very common.
That is so common. But it's also super funny.
It is.
Because, you know, this is why it was funny. Do you know who we're at war with? Afghanistan, Pakistan, Eurasia,
like all the fans.
Yeah, we at war with all
Bobby
fans.
throwing this stuff. I'm just like, and they're like, Maxine and Gerard's face are just like.
And
how common is that? That we,
so
as Americans, we don't even know half of what's going on.
And we don't know who we're at war with half the time.
We're so uninformed.
And you can just say, I don't know. Seriously. You can say the 3 words.
That's okay.
It isn't a great answer.
Because I don't know.
Yeah. And it's okay.
Great answer. It is okay.
Cynthia was talking about Aleppo, and she was like, yeah, we got to wipe it off the map. And, you know, it was just clear that they just didn't know the background of what was happening. And I thought it was hilarious and very realistic. Because
very real.
I think most people really don't know. It's like either I support it or I don't, based off of what I think it is and not really what it is.
And it was funny, her whole flip to Kevin when she found out that he was in the army. I think that pretzel was a sacrifice. That was
that was so
Everything
funny.
was like a sacrifice.
My gosh, like that.
You should be worshipped. All of a sudden.
And I'm just,
right.
Who cares if he's back paying child support?
Let me ask you a question. So if that was you and you're Bobby or Gerard or you're Cynthia and you just found out this guy, you know the facts. He's a deadbeat dad,
right?
But he just joined the army. Would you thank him for his service, knowing all the bad stuff he did before he happened to have joined the army?
I would thank him for his service because his service has nothing directly to do with his personal life.
Okay.
I agree.
I think that's as correct as I'm going to get. Now, I will still have my personal opinions about him as a man, or not in his case. But of course, certainly I would thank him for, because he's doing something that I obviously am not willing to do.
Right.
No, don't give me no M16, no hand grenades. Like, thank you.
No, but like, aren't you like halfway worried? Like, if like, have you seen Red Dawn?
No.
You've never, okay, neither version. So there's
Neither.
the Patrick Swayze version and then there's the Chris Hemsworth version. So it's basically where North Korea, they infiltrate America and they take certain cities and slowly over America, they take it and put like people in camps, hostage everybody, put them in jumpsuits, and it's basically taking over. And stuff where they have these renegade called the Wolves, because that's the town they're living in right now. And like their team's the Wolves. And they're kind of renegade. They're trying to be like, we're going to take back. We're not going to let you take our America. We're not going to let you take our town. We're going to fight for it. So in that, like, that's what I mean. Like, some people are built for it, and some circumstances lead them to having to
fight for it.
Yeah, I agree. And to answer your question, I would definitely still thank that person for their service, you know, because like you were saying, that's nothing that I would do. It's very heroic. It's very brave.
It is. 100%.
And it has really nothing to do with you, all the mess of stuff you're doing outside of that. So I can definitely thank you for what you're doing right now. However, I'm not going to take it to the extreme of Joe, like, oh my God, you're God's gift.
And I'm not going to keep your dog.
But
I'm not keeping your dog.
Can we mention the fact that he was like, the Trump poster is halfway just a reminder of like Bill Bush, Bush's like back in the day DMV style in an army thing right now. But he was like, I voted for this man. Even I know he's crazy. So
oh Lord,
can we, like that was actually I was gonna say that was actually fascinating for Joe to be like, I might have voted for him, but I also know he's crazy.
Right.
Yeah, him being a Trump supporter is just like, that's wild.
It's interesting.
It is. It's very
But it
interesting
doesn't
take.
surprise me because it's Joe, though.
Yeah.
Joe is like out there, you know. It's like just when I think we on the same page, he says something.
He's like, no,
like,
I'm gonna surprise you some more.
no.
You thought I was all our tricks. I'm not.
Here
Right.
5 seconds ago.
It definitely
doesn't
fits.
surprise me.
It fits his character. It does.
It fits him. I'm not surprised he voted for Trump.
Yeah, but I'm
Yeah.
sorry. That dog was so cute, but even I'm not keeping your dog.
He was cute, but he was big.
No.
I love golden retrievers. I think they're so gorgeous.
Me
too.
I think they're
Yeah.
fascinating creatures. They're just gorgeous. But I'm with Cynthia. First of all, why do dogs gotta watch when you having sex?
Oh Lord.
I'm just like, I feel like that's like a recurring
See?
thing that happens apparently, like when dogs are living with
Apparently.
Apparently, but I just feel like you should set some boundaries. You know, just
So
close the door. Or something.
I'm speaking for a friend. I know a friend that has a dog, and they said that their dog is in the room when.
Nope. Close the door.
But it's a dog.
So
You boundaries, like I said.
Boundaries with
I'm
an
gonna
animal?
say, yeah.
Yeah,
Hey.
so y'all think they'd be knowing, huh?
him.
I just think
Ain't you seen all dogs go to heaven? They
Exactly.
know some stuff, okay?
They know.
Ain't you
Right.
seen Beethoven?
Even
Whether
better
they
than
know
that.
or not, it's like
Right.
I don't really need
Pets.
you in this
That's
space.
what-
Secret Life of Pets.
I'm gonna-
Let's go with that one.
Let's go with pets. 'Cause they having whole conversations in that
Oh,
movie.
yeah.
It's almost like baby geniuses. Like the little secret conversations they be having. We don't know what they be saying.
Yeah,
But they be
you're
having
right.
conversations.
Well, maybe I should put that dog. Maybe I should tell my friend to put that dog in
In the hallway where it belongs.
Or in the living room
Yes.
and then run to your room and close the door real quick.
Because they like right behind you. Like, where you going?
Yeah.
I'm leaving you out here so I can have sex.
I'm
Right.
Private with you.
Personal
here.
space, personal space. Even with your dogs and your beloved pets. Gotta
And
have
they
the personal
probably do
space.
be now, I know.
But speaking of sex, I'm gonna segue.
Okay, let's do
We're
it.
gonna segue into episode 1.
Can I take
Yes,
a
man,
deep
yes.
breath before we get
That
into
was
it?
a heavy
That-
episode.
It's a very heavy episode. I'm not gonna even
Very.
start with a very heavy topic yet. I'm gonna start with the brother dynamic, which we talked about a little bit outside because it's very
Right.
interesting.
Right.
The fact that Gerard is the baby.
Right.
Yet they treat him like he's the oldest and Bobby's the oldest, but he's basically the kid.
Gerard is the little big brother. He's obviously has a better job than Bobby.
He has his own place.
He has his own place.
More mature.
He's out, so he's out the house. He's more mature. And I just think that's an interesting dynamic in every family. It's very common. I'm a little big sister, you know. So I get it. It doesn't make Bobby any worse. It just makes him special. And,
The word special. Right there.
it just makes him, you know, tender.
I'm gonna sip some water. Okay?
Yeah, I think that is
It makes him
an
tender.
interesting dynamic.
On Tinder.
Tinder, hey, he I wouldn't be
He's a
surprised.
tender on Tinder, right?
And I also wonder, like, how much Joe and Cynthia played into that dynamic.
Well, no,
you know?
because like she said, she
You
was
could
like,
tell.
Bobby, I mean, Gerard, I told you not to be so honest with Bobby. He's not strong enough.
Right. Mhm.
Bobby, you beautiful.
Firstborn.
That's our best Loretta Devine.
Right, they
Yeah,
probably
like,
babied him.
Firstborn, they were obviously a little older when they had him.
Mm-hmm.
They babied him, you know, Loretta, you know, or Cynthia, she picked him up every time he fell. Like, it gives me that. Like, that's why
Yeah.
he still lives with them now and he's divorced. And I'm not.
Wait, I
too-
think that he's actually currently out the house. If my statuses of the episodes are correct, he's living with Nikisha again.
Oh, hot mess.
Right.
I love
Get to that.
Nikisha.
I love Nikisha
That
too.
Her
She's
kid,
love
hilarious.
her.
my favorite Nikisha moment is still gonna be episode 2, the protest where she came in with that TV.
Oh
Right?
yeah,
When his birthday, she's like, happy birthday.
she's like, happy birthday. And they made that was hilarious.
And she was just like,
that was funny.
I stole it from the bottom of my heart.
Yeah, and she was sincere about it.
She was so
was.
sincere.
Funniest
Like
ever. She
you
is so
never have to
funny.
worry about Nikisha because she's always gonna keep it 100%. And that's the best part about that character.
Bobby needs Nikisha.
I think so too. I think they need to rekindle.
They do like
They need to get back together.
She a ride or die.
She is.
Yeah.
Like, if she still comes around the family, like, they still
Come
treat her
on.
like she's a part of the family.
Who is he gonna get with now? You know, like you get with a new
Exactly.
person, and then they gonna be mad because your old person's still
It's
coming
still
around.
there. It's a family
You know what I mean?
dinners.
That's gonna always cause problems. Then Nikisha ain't going nowhere. She, I mean, in the middle of the night, she's in the kitchen, like
Right.
you know,
You
they
might
thought
catch
it
a
was
stray. I love that episode too. Oh my god, that was amazing.
I just sparked something in you. I saw it.
You did. As soon as you said it, I was like, that's episode 6 of season 1.
Right.
That was the best. Like, the Gus episode was literally
It was
awesome.
good. It was
It
good.
was good.
Okay, but now we have to get on the fact that Bobby has started dating.
Right.
Yes.
Since the
He's starting
divorce.
again.
He's
Mhm.
back
So
on the
he's
market.
branching out.
Yes.
Yeah.
And,
Good
you
for
know,
him.
Gerard made an interesting comment. The fact that, Bobby's dating, that means if me and Maxine break up, I'm gonna do all right. And which is such a guy thing to say.
Right.
I know, because he's like, I'm a little bit better than him out
Right.
here in this dating world.
I'ma
So I'll
do
be
good.
okay.
Yeah,
I'll
it's
be
like,
all right.
It's a comparison. Like, I mean, come
I'd
on.
be like,
Yeah.
Bobby.
I'm like, you still ain't put a ring on his finger, so like, I'm still like, if I go out, I'm still gonna be. I'd have been like, I feel like it's female. Like, you could have came back with something, but she's
Right.
Maxine, so she let it
she's-
slide.
Yeah, that's not really her thing.
she let more stuff slide.
She's not combative.
Yeah,
at all.
she's not
She's
confrontational.
no.
Wait, we'll get
Well,
there.
yeah, actually,
we'll get there.
Actually, she got back with them in this episode.
Yeah, so I'm like, we're gonna
she
reach
did.
that.
She
We're gonna
stood
reach
for what she
that.
believed.
Right. She
So-
stood up for herself.
All right.
Let's talk
see you,
about
Maxine.
Rape Sarah real quick. So the hashtag was "It Happened to Me,"
Right.
which got over 100,000 posts with various rape stories from girls, probably all over the country.
Right.
And so basically, the story is Sarah was at a party. She met some guy named Mark Henderson, and they went to his house. They started to make out. She said, "I'm not having sex with you," and before she knew it, sex had occurred.
Right. But go back and you said that she wanted to make out, right?
She said they started to make out.
Yeah, but
And she wanted.
She,
And
did.
she wanted to make out,
Right, let's-
but she told him that I won't be having sex with you.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
So and that's where we end up with what is consent and what is not consent, because Joe's like, what's the one where
you get knocked out.
where they take you to the alley and they force
Right.
themselves on you? That's
Yeah.
rape.
Right.
That's what I was thinking you were talking about. Like, there's all that generational
Right.
thing right there.
That generation, it was
Very
so cool to see that old school perspective on what rape was, you know, because back in the day, it's like, okay, you in my bed at this time, like, we kind of know what's going on here.
Right.
Like, you know, there's no such thing
You're
as...
kissing on me.
Yeah,
like you know what it is.
It's like, no, that was rape. Like, rape is in that day, the idea of rape was the stranger in the alley.
Right.
Who
Yeah.
knocks you out. Not like, you know, I don't even think, obviously, I know for a fact, date rape wasn't a
Wasn't a
term.
thing.
That wasn't a thing that was introduced until, like, our generation.
70s, 80s, 90s,
Yeah, right.
definitely.
Well, right. A little before us. And it is such thing as somebody who you are even in a relationship with, courting,
or
raping.
even married to.
Scary.
Yeah. I think that was really interesting to see that and see the generational difference.
Right.
And it also brings up the question, even within our own generation, or, you know, Maxine's generation, she kind of brought this up, where it's like, even for us and Bobby questioning whether he was like a raper or not, I think a lot of people of our generation don't know where that line is drawn, or like, where is the
Especially
consent line?
in this time.
Right.
And it's like, so Bobby went on a date, and by Maxine's standard, he has to think, okay, so this girl I dated with, we were drunk, but I didn't get a verbal yes, so does that mean I raped her? And that is an interesting question. Like you're saying, what technically is rape in our day and age now, and also what is not consent? Because I feel like we really need to start educating men on what it is and what is not consent.
I agree.
So when you say in our day, you mean in the day of sex everywhere.
Sex everywhere.
Of us dressing like, you know, exposing our bodies as
Yeah.
women. In the Amber Rose slut walk generation, is that what we're considering? That's what we're... I just want to take everything into consideration before we jump on that, because here's the thing, because what you got to understand from both sides, what are we, you know, sex is everywhere in our generation. So it's easy for some people to get confused on what you want and don't want. So which brings us to your question of consent.
What is and what is not consent?
Obviously, consent is me agreeing to participate in whatever, you know, I am okay with this. You know, I do want to have sex right now. You know, now is consent, does it have to be verbal? Yes or no? Does it have to be yes? I don't think so.
I think it's complicated, and I think in the moment for a lot of people, it's very rarely a verbal yes. You know, it's very much a physical yes.
Right.
And I think
physical yes.
But you know, like just
because
yeah. However,
because Sarah was giving a physical yes by making out.
Right. However, I think, and this is where this,
but then when she said she did not want to have
absolutely, absolutely.
You know?
When you hear those words, no, absolutely, and it's over. It's done.
And I also think it's important to, like, you know, teach men, especially if a girl is drunk or really, you know, just be safe. Just don't even go there.
Give them a healthy respect.
Give them the respect.
Give them a healthy respect for what a woman can, what it is consenting, what is not consenting when there is alcohol involved, especially because that is definitely a difference.
I don't even know why. You know, men and or women push the issue after liquor has been involved. I mean,
it's like,
you know this person is impaired. You yourself, if you guys were at the same place, are equally likely impaired. Just can we just
go to sleep?
Yeah, just go take a drunk nap. Just wait till you're sober up.
Hold me.
Okay, I'm gonna read something that I wrote down because it was on the website. Well, what consent does not look like, so so we have a basic understanding of what you shouldn't do and what isn't consent. So what isn't consent is refusing to acknowledge a no, assuming that wearing certain clothes, flirting, or kissing isn't an invitation for anything more, someone being incapacitated because of drugs or alcohol, pressuring sexual activity, so basically forcing the same thing, rape, and assuming you have permission to engage in sexual activity if you've had a pre-pass. You've done it in the past.
Sexual
Yeah.
Right. Okay. That's good.
Yeah, I agree with that list.
That's 100%.
I think people just be extra careful, you know, in the moment. Like, I have an older brother. He's 2 years older than me. And I remember growing up, like, my mom did always just teach him, just be extra careful. Like, you don't ever want to, you can never get too much consent, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you always want to make sure that everything that you're doing, you're not pressuring her, you're not like, baby, she's not, you know, she's not close to being passed out. And that way because, you know, it is tricky, and sometimes men do get accused of rape, and they've never actually done it.
Right.
So that's where I think being, you know, you want to do this? Are you ready? And getting that
it's almost forcing people now to get the
verbal yes.
Yes,
please.
Exactly.
It behoves you nowadays because you don't know. You might go home and she's gonna wake up and, you know, is there like she never said no. So not saying no, which brings up a question that I have, is implied consent. You know what I mean? Like, you didn't say no and you're still going along with the flow, you know, because some women may feel like they're in a position where they've gone too far and now they're kind of afraid to back out of it.
Yeah, and that's also not a problem but something we also need to address as women.
Of course.
There is never, it's never too late. It's never too late.
Right.
If
Yeah.
you say no and if you say no and he still keeps going, then at least you said no, because if you have to report him and you have to go to court, they're going to ask you.
Yes.
Yep.
100%.
And that's like with 13 Reasons Why, like the situation with her character, she ends up getting raped, but she didn't say no technically. Technically speaking, the words no did not come out of her mouth. Did she try to leave? Yes. Did she keep getting pulled back and forced to stay there? Yes. But did the words actually come out of her mouth? No.
No, not at all.
But that doesn't even. But even if that happens, it does not make it your fault. I just want to say that it does not make it your fault at all.
Right.
At all. You know, it is also, just watching this, it's important to consider, for me, you know, as a woman, as women, and, you know, even guys too, because it's time for us to take all of our actions, you know, be held accountable for everything. So I'm not going to say us as women and put it all on us, like we have the responsibility to make that decision when he's a grown man. He knows right from wrong.
Exactly.
He should be able to stop and say when things are going too far, just as much as I am. But, you know, with all of that being said, just with all that being said, it's important to consider the fact that sometimes putting ourselves into situations, if we can pick up on it before, you know, do you want to go up to his house at 3:00 in the morning because you know he's a guy, what he wants, you know what I mean? That's not all guys, you know, but you can gauge, you know, the person that you're with, you know, either you're dating him or you've been around him, or, you know, what he wants at that time, you know what I mean? So not saying that if you go upstairs and you don't want it, that it's your fault, but maybe like, babe, I'll see you later.
Yeah, it's
just avoiding the whole thing.
I I just feel like it's very tricky.
Very tricky.
Because it's like I can see it because I do have a brother, and, you know, so I see how, from the guy's perspective, like, I just didn't know, I was confused, and she was giving me these signals, she never said no, because that is a good example in 13 Reasons Why, where it's like she never verbally said no, but it was clear that she
did not want to be there.
Right. So I think it's very complicated, and that's why for me, I always just stress, you know, you can never get too much consent. Like,
you can't.
You can never get too much
Which
consent.
brings me to... Go ahead.
I was going to say, that actually brings me to, you know, Joe's question. Like, so what if she has a rape role play fantasy? Like, how do you... No, because, like, how do you know... Like,
I know, but...
Yeah.
And so, so that's something, but that's a consensual thing. So, and that's also a different, like, especially when kinky sex, the whole point of kinky sex is safe, sane, and consensual. So everybody knows what's going down.
Right. We definitely sober.
And we're talking about it. We talk about, you know, limits and everything.
Beforehand.
Right. And so you should, like Maxine says, have a safe word.
Safe.
Mike Pence.
Might not want to be Mike Pence.
Which is like, what is the safe word?
I like pineapple.
Okay, safe. No, since I had this conversation earlier with somebody. So, safe word is basically a word that you might that you could use in everyday conversation, but you might not. And it's something that when you say this, that means everything stops. You untie me. You get the hell off me, and we're gonna sit here and talk about what went wrong and why I had to call that word.
Right. I mean, I get the safe word, but I don't get why you would ever say Mike Pence in a sexual situation.
But why can't you just say no? Right?
Because sometimes
in the rape fantasy,
because you can say no a lot, but like you
no a lot, because it's a rape
but you won't
fantasy.
be meaning it.
Just start cussing. Just start cussing and just.
I mean, technically, dirty talk is cussing. So I'm just like, I mean, okay. So my question for you, ladies, is if you had a safe word, what would it be?
Oh, jeez.
I told you I was gonna tell you, but I wanted to surprise you. So surprise.
That's a good question. I gotta think about that.
What makes me uncomfortable?
Right.
It doesn't necessarily have to be something uncomfortable as much as something you will remember, and that, like, it's like,
oh man,
you know, like you just like that person knows when you say it. I mean, freaking business. Like at this point,
you mean business. Like stop for real.
Like
for real.
stop.
Moist.
You did it.
I hate that word.
I don't mind that word, but why?
That is such a nasty word.
It is. It's not my favorite.
It's not my favorite, but I'm not
That's
crazy
not gonna be.
about
That's
it.
still not gonna be my safe word. Though.
You know what my safe word would be?
What?
My safe word would be lemonade. Only because
lemonade is good.
I know. This is my thinking,
Beyonce
right?
lemonade. Like,
Number one, I'm a Beyonce stan, so I'm gonna throw it out there. And number two, that's like her female empowerment album. You know, like. Just you can't mess with this.
Okay.
And I'm about to go ham on you, and so I think that's what I would pick. Yeah.
Wet socks.
What socks?
I don't know. Here's my biggest pet peeve. All right.
Why?
My biggest
that
pet
is the worst.
peeve is when I have on socks and I step on something wet, like a wet carpet, a wet floor, and now I got wet socks. So I'm angry. And if I want you to get from on top of me, I'm angry, and you're not stopping, so I'm gonna say wet socks.
That makes
a lot of sense.
It does, but she look, I can't fall off the seat right now. I mean, you wasn't falling out laughing because, oh my God.
Okay. What is yours?
That's my safe word.
What is your safe word?
Avada Kedavra.
Oh, Harry Potter.
Killing curse. That means get the fuck off me.
I get it. I
It's
get
like
that.
killing
I get that. That
Because
makes
first,
sense.
if he's never seen Harry Potter, he's gonna be like, what? First of all.
First of all, if you haven't seen Harry
Get
Potter,
that.
why am I with you?
Oh, good question. Good question.
He's not the one.
He ain't.
Not the one.
He ain't. It's not him.
It's not. It's not it. But what I liked about this episode in particular is the fact that Bobby, as a young black man, realized that, okay, I could possibly have raped somebody.
Yes.
So I need to go first find out if it happened. Secondly, if I did, I need to own up to exactly what I did. That's a grown man, mature
was
answer.
so
That was
big
so
for me.
amazing to
And
watch.
I love that because I
is
feel like
big.
I really wouldn't expect that from Bobby if you look at him from the very beginning of the show, and I feel like that shows a lot of growth in his character. That he was like, maybe I did do this, and let me go reach out to her and see if this really did happen. And I think that was just great to show the audience as well. Like, if you're in that situation, maybe that's something you should do to get clarity and kind of make sure nothing.
And this is why I love Bobby, because he just never ceases to amaze me. Like,
Yes.
he just 99% of the time, you don't know what world he's in and what he's talking about, but then he has these moments like this where it's like, oh,
I know,
is very sweet.
It's very all
He said,
sweet
and
moment.
even in his dumb moments, it's like he has no malice.
Yeah,
He's very he has
innocent.
kept his very innocent,
Right.
childlike
He
wonder
has.
about him in a very
Right.
Peter Pan sort of way.
That's why I
which
say-
is probably why he's the little older brother.
This
Makes
is true.
sense.
But for me, watching it, I was saying, what a big thing to do, but I was clenching my teeth and so nervous for Bobby because what if now obviously we know that she said it wasn't, I just didn't enjoy it.
Yeah, it was just whack.
But what if that question, did I rape you? Would that have planted a seed in her mind? Like wait, did you rape me?
actually, now that you mention it,
Not in their scenario, but in another scenario.
But like in another scenario, if this is another type of female, you also have to know what kind of female you just went on a date with, because sometimes
How often do we know who we just?
that is
yeah.
also
I
true.
mean, if it's a drunken hookup,
Right,
you may
like-
not know that person that well.
Right.
But I mean, technically, apparently they had a lot in common before they got drunk. So I mean, they're very similar in
They
their
did.
stance a little bit. We found out before.
Yeah.
Well, I was
True.
relieved.
However, I mean, if I'm the girl and you're coming at me and you're saying you raped me, I'd have been like, my face right now. I'm just like, I'm also trying to think of a good like response, because I'm just like, I can't like imagine somebody coming up to me and just actually
would-
saying
Aren't
the
you
word.
just
like
completely
that.
confused? I'm confused just
I'm
listening to you
right.
trying to like.
I'm
wait,
confused
like,
trying to like figure it out
That's why I
myself.
was
I'm
so
just like,
nervous for him. Like, wait, you're gonna
and
put
then
in
you're
her
trying to
mind.
explain to a woman what rape is,
Right.
At the same
Right.
time,
Rape is when.
Rape is when.
But then, but that could be the same situation with like the Stanford guy. First of all, I would legit just like to say it's a race thing because halfway is, but like you get 6 months in jail
Oh yeah.
because the judge don't want to mess up your career.
Right. Your career as a
Justice
rapist.
system. I mean, that's a whole long.
That's a whole long conversation. However,
have the time for
we don't
that.
have the time
We
for
do not
that.
have the time
But I want to touch on it
go
because of
into
the
it.
fact that
No, certainly.
that case,
Right.
that's a big deal right now about what consent is.
Absolutely.
Right.
And having to face your crime.
Yeah.
A little bit. But he was slapped on the wrist for that. I'm sorry.
Yeah. he
Yeah,
was, big
I
time.
agree. And I think, that's often what happens in real life in these kind of cases. If it's even reported in the first place, because a lot of times rape victims don't come forward, but if they choose to, a lot of times, it doesn't always work out.
Listen to this. I've got a family friend who has a son. His son is a student athlete in college, and it's so crazy. He and I were actually discussing the Carmichael Show after this episode, and he told me, get this, that he has printed like consent forms for his son to give like right before.
I'm not mad.
I'm not mad at that.
I'm not mad
Right
at all.
before sex.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, like, he's not Justin Bieber or anything, but yes, you better
Yeah.
have a consent form where we both were like, we understand what we're going into before.
Right.
I mean, it's kind of a shame we have to kind of do
Is
that
too much?
now.
But I agree with it.
I think that's amazing.
It
There's
is.
actually a woman that actually goes around to locker rooms in colleges and high schools to talk to athletes about what consent is.
We need.
I think
I think we need that in middle school
Right.
as well.
We
Not
need a
just
million
it
more.
starts.
Start
First of all, it
young.
starts in middle school.
Right.
Personally, I think kids were watching porn and everything since middle school. So I feel like that's something we really need to get that young.
Right.
So they have that mindset of what
Right.
is consent, what is not consent. So they're actually mindful. Because some people, obviously, like especially in this day and age, we don't really know what we did could have been not consent
Right.
and what we did could have been actually
And
wrong.
then we as adults, like we're constantly like even. It's just making me think of like the current times in social media, like how we're constantly sexualizing children now with that picture with Sierra and like Baby Future and
her
Russell
son.
and like how he was naked and she and was she partially
I think
clothed, or her stomach was out
her
or
stomach.
something
Yeah, she's pregnant. Her stomach
I don't know
was
if you're
out.
familiar with it. Or she had a maternity shot, a photo shoot that she did, and her son was completely naked. I think she was, don't quote me on this, partially naked.
Yeah.
But social media lost it. They
Yeah,
thought it was
I heard something about it.
They thought it was completely
Sexual.
unacceptable and it's sexual, and I'm like,
And
I'm like,
It's a maternity shoot.
It's a maternity shoot. Like,
And
did nobody
that's
said nothing about
her
Beyonce.
Yeah,
Just,
and it's her.
let's just be real about it. Nobody said nothing about Beyonce.
Well, we're not gonna say nothing about Beyonce.
We ain't gonna say nothing about Beyonce either, but I'm just mentioning it for that fact. I'm just mentioning it for that fact.
My beehive side will probably come out. So.
I'm a Beehive supporter, trust and believe, but I'm also gonna play devil's advocate and be like, nobody said nothing about Beyonce.
Right.
So I also feel like we as Americans, and we always feel the need to judge other people's lives. I feel like people need to stay in your own lane sometimes. Stay in your own
Tuning into
lane.
the destination for TV
Okay, that's the
superfan
tune,
discussion.
guys, because we're done. This is like our first. You're good. This is
all
the
good.
first after show, season 3, episodes
Yes.
1, 2, and 3. Yes, man, yes. Support the troops and Grandma Francis. Ladies, would you like to close yourselves out by telling them who you are?
So again, I am Shannon Clark, and you can follow me on all things social media at I am Shannon Clark. So excited to be covering season 3 Carmichael Show. It always delivers, and I'm just happy about it.
Okay, guys, my name is Mariel Turner, and you can find me on every social media platform at Mariel_Turner. And yeah, I'm really excited about this season. I think it's going to be great. So
Yeah, I'm here for it.
And guys, again, I'm Chae Jones. You can find me at Real Chae Jones on Twitter and Instagram. You can also find me tomorrow for Daytime Divas at 6 o'clock. And there's going to be a lot to talk about on this lunch hour, guys. So we will see you next week. It's going to be episode 4, Shoot Up Abel. And you never know who's going to be here. You're never going to see his mic pipe up.
Never know.
hey.
You never know.
Who's it gonna be?
And I'm so happy to be here with these lovely ladies.
And we're happy to be here too.
As am I.
Bye, guys.
Peace.
See ya.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.